Growing up as a Pokemon fan, since the start, I've always hated trait evolutions. The clunkiness of needing to give away something that belongs to you in order to evolve it has always seemed like such an unnecessary inconvenience to me. Hi, I'm Haunted, and today I'm continuing my shiny Dream Team quest in Leafgreen that I started a few months back. Since I'm a little behind schedule and the subjects of my next two hunts are both trait evolutions, I thought it would be fitting to pair them together for episode 2 to make a DTQ double feature of sorts. And it just so happens that these two targets have some shared history to talk about in the process, so their pairing isn't entirely arbitrary. Now these shinies ain't gonna hunt themselves, so without further ado, let's get into it. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't really like trait evolutions. Not the Pokemon themselves, they're awesome, but the method used to get them is so inconvenient. Because I didn't really have friends that played Pokemon, or even a link cable back then, I rarely got to use the fully evolved forms of these Pokemon. I've finished so many playthroughs of the Kanto games with the likes of Haunter, Machoke, Kadabra, and Graveler. Luckily, that's not an issue anymore. Not because I made friends or anything, but just because I could trade with myself now. That's why I ended up choosing 2 trait evolution Pokemon for this Dream Team quest, because it's my first time getting to use them in Gen 3 at all. As the thumbnail would imply, the 2 that I'm referring to are Gengar and Alakazam. They're my favorites of the Gen 1 trait evos by a long shot, and both pretty high on my list of favorite Kanto mods. These 2 evolution lines also have a fair bit of history together in the older anime seasons, not just with the giant ones from the ancient civilization of Pokemopolis, but also with the whole 3-episode arc of Ash needing to befriend a Haunter in order to defeat Sabrina and her Kadabra to get the Marsh Badge. Funnily enough, despite the first episode of that saga being named Abra and the Psychic Showdown, we literally don't even get to see Abra battle at all. Like literally, as soon as the battle starts, Sabrina has it teleport behind Pikachu and immediately evolve into Kadabra purely to Aura Farm. She didn't have to do all this, she was genuinely just flexing on him. And while her Abra wasn't on screen for long, it was the start of an arc for Ash, and as such, is the next stop on my DTQ journey. There are 2 main ways to hunt Abra in Fire Red and Leaf Green. You can find them in the wild, where there's only a 15% encounter, and will probably teleport away immediately, or in the game corner, where you could check a bunch of Abra at a time, and there's no risk of failing them. Seems like a no-brainer to me. But here's the real juicy stuff. You're gonna love this one. By hunting game corner Abra in Leaf Green, they're a whole 60 coins cheaper than Fire Red. 5 Abras at a time at a 60 coin discount in 3 different games is a 900 coin discount per reset. That's enough for like a Clefairy and a medium Mr. Pibb. I mean, you just can't pass up on savings like that in this economy. So I got myself a coin case and stocked up on V-Bucks to check 15 Abra at a time, which goes by pretty damn fast. And while my luck wasn't quite as good as it was with my starter Bulbasaur, I still managed to keep it under odds. Ooh! Shiny Abra! It's adamant! No! Damn it! It's on the same file as the Bulbasaur. That's crazy. I was getting scared there. I was getting close to the odds. There's not a second one, right? Because that'd be fucking crazy. Okay. There's a shiny Abra. It's literally... It's the same file. That's nuts. A female one is so lit too. That mustache is gonna go crazy. Let's have a look at our shiny Abra. We got regular Bellsprout and shiny Abra. Dude, that's awesome. Despite my Abra having the worst possible nature for it to have, the first thing I did with it was EV train it, specifically in speed and special attack. I had to switch train it at first because Abra's pretty useless when it comes to killing stuff on its own, but I only had to do that until it was ready to evolve into Kadabra. Ooh. It's Kadabra time. Let's see it. Let's see that Kadabra. Ooh. That's nice. I like that. Well, there's the shiny Kadabra, and finally a usable attack. All I've had was teleport up until now. Here, let's have a look at our shiny Kadabra. We got regular Pidgey and shiny Kadabra. Very epic, dude. I'm not gonna evolve into Alakazam immediately, but soon. We gotta train first, though. After finishing off my EV training on speed, I force-fed my Kadabra some performance-enhancing drugs to get it ready for special attack EV training later. For now, it has to chill at the back of the party so I can defeat Lieutenant Surge without messing up my EVs, since there aren't really any good ways to train for special attack before Lavender Town. After defeating Surge and also doing the rocket fights in the basement of the game corner that I had just left, I finally had the Sylph Scope and was ready to move on to special attack EV training, as well as my next hunt. Gastly, Haunter, and Gengar are the original Ghost-type family. They were the only Ghost types in Gen 1, making them the de facto mascots of the entire Ghost type. And hey man, no complaints here. I think Gengar is awesome. That's why it's the third member of my Dream Team quest. I've always wanted to use one in a playthrough, but I've always had to settle for a Haunter in games that require trading in order to get one. Haunter is also the Pokemon that Ash goes to Lavender Town to befriend in order to defeat Sabrina in the anime arc I was talking about earlier. What's funny is that the whole reason that he does this in the first place is because allegedly the only type of Pokemon that can beat a Psychic type is Ghost. And this is not only factually inaccurate because the Bug type existed, but to make things funnier, Psychic types were actually immune to Ghosts in Gen 1 due to a coding error. So bro really set Ash up for failure by sending him into a Psychic gym with functionally a pure Poison type. But you know, they won with like the power of friendship and laughter. The type matchup never really mattered in this. But I too went to Lavender Town with the intention of befriending a Ghost, not a Haunter. Or at least not probably, since the highest chance of finding a Haunter in Pokemon Tower is 15%. And since the end goal is a Gengar anyway, I'm perfectly fine with a shiny Gastly. And what I'm even more fine with is the fact that that shiny Gastly showed up before I even finished EV training my Kadabra. Shiny Gastly already? Dude, that's insane. It's on the same file again. This is such a lucky file. I was not even like straight up hunting yet. I am still EV training this Kadabra. Dog, what the hell? 360. 360 encounters for shiny Gastly. I mean, what can you do? So let's see. I've only got regular Pokeballs and Great Balls. Let me try a couple regular Pokeballs. So ball number 1 at full health. I figured as much. Okay, that's synchronized, popping off. Come on, stay in the regular ball. There we go. Shiny Gastly. I will give you a nickname in a minute. Let me immediately save. And we already know that this is going to be Adamant. Wait, what? Oh, does synchronize doesn't do. It doesn't do. No synchronize in Fire Red Leaf Green. Fucking Dedoy. But Calm Nature's, that's not bad. It's not the best, but special defense and lower attack. Also, this being on the 666 save is so sick. Oh my god. That is so good. That was way faster than I expected. Now I gotta EV train 2 things at the same time, because I was still in the middle of this. And now I gotta do this. It is bonkers that all 3 of these have been on the same file. They've all been under odds and all on the same file. That seems sus to even me. There's a regular Gastly and a shiny Gastly. Woo! That blue boy. After a very quick 360 encounters, I already had my next target. Well, not quite. My targets are still Alakazam and Gengar, which means we still have just a little bit of work left to do first. Just as I did with Kadabra, I trained my Gastly for speed and special attack, evolving it into a Haunter with a funny blue tongue in the process. I'm not gonna lie, I still think that the Haunter that looks like it just drank a blue raspberry Slurpee is the strongest shiny in the whole line. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to finally use some trait evolutions in a playthrough for a change. And what better way to evolve them than by trading them for each other and doing it at the same time. Alright, let me send over Haunter here. And I have an Everstone on it, so it's not gonna evolve on me yet, since I want it to evolve at the same exact time as the Kadabra. And can I take the item off in the trade room? I can indeed. Hell yeah. Now we trade it back. Alright, time to trade Kadabra and Haunter for each other and evolve both. Here we go. 2 shiny trade evolutions at the same time. That's so cool. Alright, and now show me 2 evolutions at the same time. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Here we go. It's time for shiny Alakazam and shiny Gengar at the same time. Oh, dude, what a pair. These guys are so cool. The pink eyes on Gengar look really good here. And of course, Alakazam is glamorous as always. Let me exit this trade now. And look. That's the wrong Alakazam. I panicked for a second. I was like, where's my Zam? It's right here. Oh, shiny Alakazam and shiny Gengar. And those stats are looking pretty decent for where we're at too. I've got special attack and speed trained up on both of them. These guys are looking very clean. Let me go look at some sparkles over here. We got 2 non-shiny Vulpix. And I accidentally led with the non-shinies. Oops. Okay, now the shinies. They look so good. Dude, especially Alakazam. That's a good back sprite. Now that I had my shiny Gengar and Alakazam all raised up, all I needed to do was some final touches. For one, they both needed nicknames. It actually took me a while to come up with nicknames for these two. I had a couple of possibilities that I had in mind for Alakazam, but none of them accounted for the 1 in 4 chance for a female Abra. So being the weeb I am, I pulled a pair of names from Fire Force, since I was watching the finale of the anime while I was EV training earlier. For Alakazam, I went with nicknaming her Inca, after a witch which shares her color scheme. And my Gengar's name is Licked, because look at this guy. That motherfucker right there is a Gengar. After nicknaming these guys, I made sure they were hooked up with some fresh moves like Psychic and Thunderbolt, as well as only the finest held items Leafgreen has to offer, a Twisted Spoon and a Spell Tag. They made held items pretty annoying to get in these games because the only way to get both the Spell Tag and the Twisted Spoon is to get them off of a 15% encounter Pokemon that has a 5% chance of holding this item, which if you do the math, it comes out to being a huge pain in the ass. Fortunately, after only a few hours of my life being spent clicking Thief on wild Pokemon, I was finally able to wrestle up the held items I wanted to make my newly acquired shinies feel as special as possible. Narratively, it would make sense to conclude this video by fighting Sabrina since the intro would allude to that being the final step, but for some reason, the gym seems to be closed today. That's okay though, because we'll be spending plenty of time in Saffron City next time, because we're hunting the next member of my Dream Team quest right next door in the Fighting Dojo. For now though, I think this pair has earned a little bit of rest. Thank you so much for watching. I know this is like months behind schedule. I'm not great at time management. I'm back to working on a lot of fun videos now though, so make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because I'd hate for you to miss what I'm cooking up. I know I always say that, but I'm being for real this time. Look, I even went outside for one of them. I do have to get back to working on those though. So for now, that's it from me. So until next time, I've been Haunted, and I'll be seeing you. Later!